everybody, and welcome once again to the Gaily Review. Today, I figured I would introduce a regular guest to the show. She should be entering any moment now, as a matter of fact.
Oh, lay that pistol down, babe. Lay that pistol down. Pistol packing mama.
Pammy, sit right down. So, we're going to use the word review a little loosely this time, because
Boy, are we ever.
today's show we're going to be reviewing. What is it we're reviewing again?
We're not reviewing, we're discussing.
We gotta use the word review.
Oh, we're reviewing our opinions of unsolved murder cases.
See, I tied that in there.
See, we kind of have different theories on these unsolved murder cases.
So, speaking of unsolved murder cases, there's one, well, which one do you want to start with?
So you start. What's your favorite?
Well, the one that scares me the most, but not my favorite, but the one that scares me the most is the Zodiac killer, of course. Now, they say they've solved it a couple times.
No, they haven't solved it, but you want to hear my theory?
I want to hear your theory.
Okay.
Go ahead.
In 1965, a man named Robert Ivan Nichols left his family back east, I think in Ohio, and he, with really no explanation, he said goodbye to his parents, his kids. He drove to California in a car similar to the one that the Zodiac was known to have been driving.
Yeah.
He wrote one or two postcards to his parents, and he sent his one son a nickel. Or a penny, I'm sorry, a penny. He was in the right places.
Okay.
At the right time. He was an engineer. He knew how to code and cipher and stuff, and ciphering by code. He looks exactly like the picture.
The drawing.
The one.
Yeah, sketch artist.
Right. Of the Zodiac. Now, sometime in the really early 70s.
Okay.
I believe the Zodiac had stopped by then, Zodiac killings. This Robert Ivan Nichols moved to Ohio, back to someplace in Ohio, Eastland, something, Ohio. But before that, he stopped at a cemetery, and he took on the identity of a dead boy's name, a 9-year-old boy whose name was Joseph Newton Chandler. And Joseph was killed in 1945 when he was 9 years old in a car accident with his parents.
Right.
And for the rest of Nichols' life, he lived collecting Social Security, etc., under the dead boy's name.
Wow.
Joseph Newton Chandler. All right. He died. Actually, he had colon cancer, and he killed himself.
Right.
It turned out he had a bank account with $82,000 in it, left to nobody. So they tried to research back to find his next of kin, because that's not, it's a lot of money.
Right.
And through DNA and such, they were able to trace his son.
Oh,
Now, so when you put the two stories together, when you put the handwriting together, when you put the pictures together, maybe they're waiting for DNA to be perfected because they only have a little bit more of his to see if it matches up. But
there you go.
I'm pretty sure that's what
interesting story. Now, what about you? What's your favorite one?
Oh, God, Lizzie, of course. You know that.
Lizzie who?
Borden took
that's right.
an axe.
Now, I think we have different opinions on this. You think that you think that Lizzie did it?
Yes, Lizzie did, yes.
I think it's was he the stepbrother, right?
He was the illegitimate son of her father, Lizzie's father.
So it's a stepbrother, okay. Now, I haven't read up on the case or seen anything lately. Of course, we were obsessed with it for a very long time.
Oh my God. I remember thinking about how old I was going to be on the 100th anniversary of the case, and that's now 28 years ago.
Now, the thing is, the reason I think it was a stepbrother is I just don't think that in that time... So, well, first off, they didn't find any blood on her at all. She did burn that dress, mind you. But also, it would take a very strong person to have done that. And he was a big guy, from what I understand. So I think that she somehow got him a little bit of that money from that inheritance. They had some agreement, and while Emma was away visiting friends in Fairhaven.
See, I disagree. First of all, Lizzie was desperate. She obviously overheard a conversation between her uncle and her stepmother and her father the night before the Uncle John was visiting. And she was desperate. She had gone out trying to buy prussic acid. Prussic acid was a poison. To poison them with.
Yeah.
And the druggist wouldn't sell it to her. It almost seemed like she was desperate. Not justifying murder in any way, shape, or form, but I can sort of understand what Emma must have been feeling. Two helpless, quote, spinsters. Emma was 40-something. Lizzie was 32. Their only income was from their father, and he was taking it away from them to give to his second wife's family. I get it, you know?
Well, still, that would be her motive. I mean, motive wouldn't change. She would just have somebody else in the situation to help her with the situation, which she would have needed.
I don't think so. First of all, Mrs. Borden was a short, fat thing, and she approached her from behind in the guest room, where you've seen it. You've been to the Borden house.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's just whacking her twice behind. She'd have knocked her down, and she'd have done the other 18 blows. 19.
And how do you explain the blood situation then? Because there was no blood on
No clothes on. I believe the Elizabeth Montgomery version.
This was the Victorian era. You didn't walk around with no clothes on.
You know what? Victorian era was an outside show. What you did in your own house was entirely different.
So what do you guys think? Comment below and let us know who you agree with, or if you have another theory. Moving along.
Yeah.
How about, let's do one that's a little bit more recent, that, as you say, JonBenet situation, the I can't say it correctly.
JonBenet Ramsey.
That one. Now, I think we disagree on that, too. You think it was?
I think it was her brother Burke. Not on purpose. I think she and her brother Burke were downstairs playing. The play got too rough. Something happened that killed her. And I think Patsy Ramsey, the mother, already dying of ovarian cancer, was helpless and hysterical and turned around and said, "My God, I've lost one child. I can't lose the other one."
Oh, wait, this is where I have a problem with a couple of things. First off, I'm not certain you're correct about, I know she died of ovarian cancer. I don't think she had even been...
Absolutely. It was her second bout at that point.
All right, so she was. Okay. Now, this Burke was how old at the time?
3 years older than JonBenet. She's still 9. People don't get killed. Some lady was in a...
So, wait, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if he accidentally killed his sister and he's only 9 years old, I don't think he's going to be convicted of anything.
Not convicted, but he would have been taken for a while to a juvenile place like Cheryl Crane, you know.
I don't know. An accidental thing? I don't know. And even if that's the case, doesn't that sound like a less punishment than what they actually ended up
But I think she didn't want her only child, the only one she had left, taken away from her. And she knew, ovarian cancer, she knew she wasn't going to...
I don't know. I have to think on that one. And I have to ask you guys, what do you think?
Well, I got a few more comments.
Yeah, go ahead. I just had to get that in. Oh, wait. Before you do, I forgot the most important thing. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell.
Ring that bell. Hey, ring that bell.
Should have done that at the beginning.
Come on, ring that bell.
Okay, go on. What else do you have to say?
Okay, so the ransom note that they could not rule out was in Patsy's handwriting. Happened to be for the exact $118,000 to the penny that John Ramsey had received as a Christmas bonus. How could somebody get it down that precise and on a pad of paper that was from the Ramsey house, so they didn't come with a ransom note? You could see the imprint underneath it.
But that doesn't mean that he did it. The brother did.
No, but I don't think her parents did. I think the brother and her were playing. There was a party going on or whatever, and something horrible happened. And also, most important, if you listen to the police tape, the Ramseys say that the brother was not around when they called the police. And yet you can hear the brother talking, Burke, you can hear him talking in the background on the police tape.
All right, so there you go. That's our theories on the JonBenet Ramsey.
Poor kid should be about 30 years old now.
Now, what's another one, Pam, that you can think of?
Okay, so we can either do the Lindbergh baby kidnapping
Or
the Black Dahlia.
okay, let's go ahead and do the Black Dahlia. Black Dahlia, now, I know the circumstances. Obviously, they found her nude body cut up.
On June 15th, January 15th, 1947. In the middle of the street, they found her sliced in half.
And her blood had been drained, right?
It probably drained when she was sliced. I don't know. She was 24 years old, and her real name was Elizabeth Short.
And they had a picture of her from a mugshot because she was arrested for underage drinking, I believe in Santa Barbara, a year or two or a few years previous to that.
I did not know that.
Yes, that's how they have that picture of her.
But anyway, they called her the Black Dahlia because she always wore a black orchid or a dahlia in her hair.
But they didn't call her that when she was alive. That
No,
was the
that
name
was
they had.
you know how they always give murderers.
Okay, so what do you think? Because there's a lot of theories on that too.
My theory is absolutely, I believe Steve Hodel, if you don't know who he is, look him up, look up the book. Steve Hodel was a police officer in Los Angeles. He wrote a book when he retired about the Black Dahlia.
Okay.
And he found a lot of similarities between his father, who was a surgeon, a doctor in Los Angeles during that time, and the killing. He also found little picture books of photographs with Elizabeth Short in them. Now, what takes it to the final step is he was on the very short suspect list at the time. I think if you read his book, if you put it all together, if you put the fact that her slice was a surgeon's cut.
Yeah, that's right. Surgeon, right.
And you?
I agree with you. I think that's the only logical theory that I've heard, and I've heard a few different ones, but that's the one that makes the most sense to me. Okay, let's talk about Lindbergh then, Pam.
Charles Lindbergh's baby was kidnapped from his bedroom in New Jersey.
Okay.
And big search went out, big reward. I mean, this was the crime of the century.
Right. And they found, didn't they find like a ladder up to his bedroom window or something?
They found a ladder that had fallen down, I believe, from his bedroom window. And they, in order to try to trap the kidnapper, the kidnapper had made contact and had wanted to do the ransom exchange, actually in the cemetery my father is buried in the Bronx, St. Raymond's. But what the police did was they gave him the ransom, and they gave it to him in sequential gold dollar bills.
Okay.
So a month goes by, they found, apparently, whoever it was that kidnapped him, I'm going to say Hauptman because I think it was, dropped the baby. Baby died instantly, fell on its head. And all of a sudden, Hauptman is starting to pass these gold sequential dollars around town. So they investigate him.
Okay.
And they find that the wood in his attic matches the homemade ladder that was leaning against Lindbergh's house into the baby's room.
Okay, so I don't know, honestly. I think Hauptman is way too cute to have done it. But
This is my problem. If the murderer or the accused murderer or Eric Menendez, per se, somebody, a handsome man, is accused of a horrific crime.
Correct.
Emma thinks they're not guilty because they're cute.
Emma is me, by the way.
David thinks they're not guilty because they're cute.
So everybody, that's our show for today. And we're going to cover our ratings on another, don't say what, on another topic. And we'll leave that as a surprise for you guys. Okay, have a great day, everyone.
Bye.